In Isaiah chapter 16, verses 1 through 5, the question of where Israel will flee in the Great Tribulation is addressed prophetically. It's on your outlines too. It says, "Send the lamb to the ruler of the land, from Saleh to the wilderness." So wherever Israel goes will involve journeying through the wilderness. "To the mount of the daughter of Zion. Hide the outcasts. Do not betray him who escapes. Let my outcasts dwell with you, O Moab. Be a shelter to them from the face of the spoiler." Other translations will say the destroyer instead of the spoiler. Israel will be hiding from a destroyer during this time. "For the extortioner is at an end." Things are wrapping up. "Devastation ceases. The oppressors are consumed out of the land." Other translations will use phrases like, "Oppressors have completely disappeared from the land." God declares that there's a place called Saleh in the land of Moab. Write this down. Moab is in present day Jordan. Moab is in the present day country of Jordan to the south of Israel. The Jews in Jerusalem and Israel are going to flee south to Jordan during the Great Tribulation, as there will be enemies in every other direction. Saleh means the rock in Hebrew. And if you look it up in a Strong's Concordance, it'll tell you that it refers specifically to the rock city of Idumea. It's Saleh in Hebrew, but in Greek, it's the city called Petra. Write that down. It's Saleh in Hebrew, but in Greek, it's called Petra. And when you put it all together, you find that Saleh is Petra, the rock city of Idumea, which is kind of mind-blowing because there is a city in Moab. There is a city in Jordan that is called Petra or Saleh in Hebrew. It's about 140 miles southeast of Jerusalem and 2,700 feet above sea level in the mountains. The city of Petra was carved into rock around 2,500 years ago and is most famous for being featured in the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in 1989. You might recognize its treasury called Al-Khazna from this photo. Petra is an amazing place, and through ingenious engineering, the Edomites who built it created a system that captures rainwater in massive cisterns, providing hydration in a desert environment. This enabled the development of an entire civilization that once lived and thrived in Petra. Staggeringly, the rock city of Petra could still today hold a population of up to 2 million people. But for now, it's a tourist attraction and one of the 7 new wonders of the world. As always, I encourage you to do your own research, but I am personally convinced that Petra is where Israel will flee during the Great Tribulation. But if you're not still convinced, I've got one more exhibit of evidence to share with you. In chapter 11 of his book, Daniel the prophet wrote that Antichrist would enter the glorious land. That's always a reference to Israel, and it's an implication that Antichrist will conquer Israel. "And many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape from his hand: Edom, Moab, and the prominent people of Ammon." Guess what country Edom, Moab, and Ammon are all located in today? Jordan. Where did we learn that Petra is located? Moab. Daniel prophesies that for some reason, Antichrist won't conquer the country of Jordan. I suggest we know the reason why. Israel and Jordan currently enjoy peace thanks to a peace treaty they signed in 1994, and that treaty also paved the way, no pun intended, for a major highway that today connects the two countries. Back to Revelation 12, and let's just read verse 6 one more time. It says, "Then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days." It was prepared by God 2,500 years ago, and it's been preserved by God for the past 2,500 years.